Good morning. I welcome you with all my heart. It's great to be here with you once more to this diving festival. We are gonna dive and dive and dive into that thing that we are. We're gonna get in touch with who we really are, and we are gonna see changes, and that's very exciting. All those changes that comes from turning our attention and getting in touch with ourselves, our real selves. Not the character, not that little personage that the mind created, that ego, that thing we call the ego, that thing that believes to be separated from everybody else, that believes to be special, that wants to be more special and more special by doing things that are different, because you have to separate from everybody else. You gotta be different. You gotta be something unique. That's what the mind tells you. And in that process of becoming more and more unique, you suffer more and more, and it gets to a point that you have to realize that one thing is related with the other, that you cannot be unique and be in peace. You cannot have a big ego and be in peace. Those two things are mutually exclusive. You had to lose your ego. You had to burn your ego. And when you weaken your ego, when you start losing your ego, you start feeling more peaceful and more peaceful. And you dive deeper into yourself, because here is a fire. It's a fire that burns ego. It's a fire that burns mind. And the more we dive into that fire, the peaceful we get, the more we weaken the mind, and the mind will stop convincing us that we had to be different, that we are separated, that we had to be unique, and we start accepting that we are just the same, that we are one with everybody else, that there's not anybody else but a big chunk of peace, and we are that. And all the other so-called people, the others, are the same thing, are made from the same thing, from oneness, from peace. So we have to start diving and burning the ego. And when we burn the ego, we see the difference in our lives. When we stop wanting to be unique and different, and when we stop struggling to separate ourselves, we are going to gain in peace more and more until it gets to a point that you become imperturbable, because nothing can touch your peace. All those things that made you mad, that made you angry, that made you not peaceful inside, will disappear. You will see that they were not true, that they were a mirage, an illusion created for the mind to perturb you, to make you unhappy, to make you suffer. And when you start burning the mind, when you start burning the ego, you become peaceful. And you start seeing the difference. You start noticing that the things that used to perturb you, they don't do it anymore. You start looking at yourself and you start saying, oh, look, this situation used to make me angry. And now I don't feel anything. I just see the same situation, but nothing happened inside me. I'm gaining. I'm being more peaceful. Nothing can touch me. And you change. And all the changes are good, because you suffer less and less, and you live in peace with yourself and with all the so-called others that are just you. Are just you. You are looking into a mirror. All those millions and millions of others are nothing but you. And you will start seeing that. And you will be accepting that. Because you will be accepting yourself. And you will see how the so-called others have the right to be the way they are, because they are just an illusion, a game. They won't bother you, because you know it's you playing. It's just an illusion. And you will lose all that fear. The fear will disappear from your life, because you cannot hurt yourself, and everything in the so-called world is you, and you can never hurt yourself. So fear disappear. Never again you fear anything. And in losing all those things that made you suffer, you become quiet. You'll never get angry again. Never angry again. You will be able to do everything, but without anger, without fear, you will be able to keep doing what you have to do. You will be able to tell your employees to do things better, but without anger, in a loving way. And they will receive that love, and they will make the best they can to do things in a better way. And there will be no conflict. And everything will be done the same way, but in a peaceful way, in a loving way. You will see the difference. You will feel the difference. Many changes will happen. All of them perfect. All of them enjoyable. And there is one that I like a lot. You will never be in a hurry again. You will be never in a rush, because you know everything is gonna get done, and you will arrive at the place that you had to arrive at the right moment. You will lose the need to rush. And that's great in your life. And everything will get done. And you will arrive at the places that you have to arrive. Always in the perfect moment. And you will lose the need for others to approve of you. You won't care what others think about you. One, because you know it's you. And two, because you just don't give. You just don't care. It means nothing. You won't think about the consequences of what other people think of you, of what other people will think about what you say or what you do. You just do it and say it, and you won't care, because you know it's you. You don't have to please anybody. You don't have to look for the love of anybody, because you already have it. The rest is just an illusion, a game of mirrors. And when you realize this, wanting to be loved, wanting to be approved of, will disappear, never to feel it again. So dive into yourself, dive into the fire in your heart, burn the ego, you don't need it. Burn the mind, you don't need it. And you'll see the difference. And you will find where you've been looking for by burning what you don't need, but diving into what you are. Robert Adams used to say that he was an ego killer. And he was, yeah. He killed egos. in many ways. He kills egos, used to kill egos with his presence. Used to kill egos by helping you dive into yourself. But also he killed the egos directly. When you allow your ego to come up in front of him, he will whack you. He will whack your ego. He will make sure you never do it again. He did it with me many times, but not only with me, with everybody. So, you know what is coming. I do the same. And if you allow your ego to come up in front of me, I'm gonna make sure you never do it again. Some people get confused and they think that because they get close to me, or because they help me, or they help us organize events or do events in different countries, that I'm gonna go easy on their ego. And it's the opposite. The closer you get to me, the harder I'm gonna be on your ego. Don't get confused. Some people got confused and they are not around me anymore. That's my job and I will do it.